Hello and welcome to the Joe Ligato Show. I'm your host, Dr. Joe Ligato, and today we're going to be talking about some of the psychopathic, genocidal rhetoric coming out of Israel and the pro-Zionist supporters of Israel throughout the Western world. And so we're starting off providing commentary on this tweet by Arnaud Bertrand, and he says that he is beyond disgust at the length French TV pundits go to justify the murder of children. Listening to Céline Pina, it's almost as if Palestinian children need to thank the idea for killing them. So listen to this. It's absolutely unreal. He then quotes her saying, "Crimes against humanity and war crimes are not a matter of degree, but of nature. In other words, a bomb that explodes causing destruction and collateral damage will undoubtedly kill children. But these children will not die with the impression that humanity has betrayed everything they were entitled to expect." That's a horrific thing to say. So it's not a matter of if you're killing children or not. If it's the reason you're killing them that matters, is what she's saying. That's genocidal rhetoric. That's pro-Zionism for you. That's how they think. And so the article goes on to say, what is the horrible is to imagine these Israeli children who were 8, 9, 10 years old, these women who left this world with the last image of inhumanity, atrocity, and contempt for who they are. That's literally what Israel is doing to the Palestinians right now. They say it on national television. They're flattening Gaza. They're focusing on destruction, not accuracy. They plan on wiping them out. They don't consider them human. They consider them the children of darkness. I mean, just so disgusting. These people should not be allowed to foment genocide to this extent. This should be considered active aggression. I mean, this is calling for the murder of people, and the people are actually getting murdered. So, like, I don't know how much more atrocious you can get than this. So she goes on to say, this is where the crime against humanity lies, in the absolute negation. And I think we would benefit from explaining this much more, because otherwise the realm of emotion places equal signs between all victims. Yet it's true. A Palestinian death and Israeli death, it remains two deaths, but the way they have been killed is different and speaks to our inhumanity or our humanity. So she's saying that the Palestinian children are being murdered in a humane way. And that's just horrendous that this is on French TV. Let's see what else we have here. So we have Sana Sayed saying, I cannot recall a more embarrassing, shameful, and grotesque moment in U.S. news media history than this one. You have to try very hard to come up with a headline like this. Oh, okay. Explosion Gazans say was airstrike leaves many casualties in dense neighborhood. So they're not saying that the Israelis conducted this airstrike. They're saying that the Gazans say that an explosion occurred. We don't know why it occurred. We're not going to mention Israel at all here. They say it leaves many casualties. So they're providing doubt that the explosion occurred at all. And then they're providing doubt about the explanation about who did the strike, because they don't trust the Gazan population. And so they say this all the time. They make the Gazans seem completely inhumane. And I see this in the comment section a lot too for Twitter posts where they say, well, why don't Gaza's neighbors, why don't the Palestinian neighbors take the Palestinians? And they say, maybe these other Arabic countries know something about the Palestinians. Maybe they know they're evil. And which is ridiculous, because countries like Jordan, like Egypt, like Turkey, they take millions of Palestinian refugees, and they shouldn't be doing that because the Palestinians have a home. It's Palestine, which was taken over by the genocidal Zionists, who were literally allowed to come to Palestine. They had to, in order to get passports, Palestinian passports, they had to recognize and show their loyalty. They had to express their loyalty to the Palestinian state, and then they went back on that. So I remember seeing pictures saying, like, the Germans destroyed our homes, don't destroy our hopes. And so it's like these Israelis, these Zionists, came to Palestine, a country that was already inhabited, already had its own governance system. Sure, it was under the control of the British to a certain extent, but that's irrelevant for the sake of this. And these Palestinians let these Zionists in, said, okay, you just have to swear loyalty to the state of Palestine, that you're not going to overthrow it. They did this. And so then the Israeli Zionists overthrew them anyways. These people that gave them their homes. I remember, I think it was Bella Hadid, her father or something like that. I think it was her father. Yeah, or maybe it was grandfather. But they opened their home to Holocaust refugees. And then these Holocaust refugees, after a few years, took their home from them. Literally, The Palestinians actively opened their home to refugees from World War II. And those people, those evil, psychopathic Zionists, took the home of the people who offered them refuge. And this happens nonstop in Palestine, where people just get their homes taken by the Israelis, the fake Israelis. They're not real Israelis. Oh, this makes me so mad. Then it says here, never forget his pal. Oh, the original post was taken away. Oh, I can't even. All right, I had something here that I was going to go over, but I can't even anymore. Never forget his pal Menachem Begin, the terrorist that bombed hotels and ships. We see this leader of Jewish terrorist organization Irgun. That's the name of the organization. Sanctioned bombing of King David Hotel, killing 91. He later became prime minister of Israel. So this terrorist became a prime minister of Israel. We can't even see that post anymore. Let's see what this next one is. Israel has now killed 7 times as many kids in Gaza in 28 days than Russia did in all the war in Ukraine. Okay, so just think about that for a second. That people say how inhumane Russia is, even though they're obviously acting very humanely towards the Ukrainians. They're very cautious in terms of how they conduct themselves in this war. And despite that, they bring Vladimir Putin up on war crimes, whereas here we have Israel actively talking about conducting war crimes and then actually following through and committing those war crimes, and the West completely supports them. So the West, that illusion, that veil you might have over your eyes about the Western world and how, oh, they're rules-based, they're following the law, that should be taken away by this point, because the West is inhumane, they're genocidal, they're psychopathic. It goes on to say, Ukraine received 93 billion of economic aid. Gaza got 240 trucks of food, shrouds, and a few medicines. Russia got sanctioned by every Western state. Israel is celebrated. So here we see all the deaths, all the children dead in Gaza compared to Ukraine. So just horrific what the Israelis are doing. Clearly genocide, and people are just not talking about it. Next up, we have the Israeli Defense Force, which we should call the Israeli Occupation Force, confirmed strike on ambulance in Gaza, saying it was being used by Hamas. That is ridiculous. Okay, so again, going back to what Caitlin Johnstone said in another video, how did they not know the October 7th attack was happening? But somehow they know what ambulances Hamas is using. They know when they're under children's schools. They know when they're in hospitals. They know all these things, but they didn't know about the October 7th attack. Sure, yeah. Only the most moronic human beings would believe any of this garbage. You should not be attacking ambulances. It's just not something a humane person does. And then just seeing the genocidal rhetoric from the Zionists, and remember, it's Zionists, not all Jewish people. These Zionists say that the Jews must be exterminated. These are today's Nazis. This Zionist here says that this Zionist woman who supports Israel says that all anti-Zionist Torah Jews, okay, so remember that Zionist Jews believe in the Talmud, which is considered to be the oral history of the oral Torah. It's the oral word of God. And the written word of God is the Torah, the actual like Old Testament for Christians. And so modern Zionists do not really follow the written word of God, which is the Torah. They follow their own interpretations that were created by the Pharisees, the rabbis, and that is called the Talmud. And that's considered to be the oral word of God. And so the Zionists hate the anti-Zionist Torah Jews and said that they should be killed in gas chambers, that Hitler should have killed them all, and that he made a mistake by not killing them all. Shocking things these Zionists are saying. And leaders around the world are fueling anti-Semitism by supporting Zionists, because the rabbinical Pharisees Jews hate the non-Pharisees Jews. They hate the Torah Jews, the people who follow the actual Torah. So we're going to end with this. We've talked a lot about the genocidal rhetoric, primarily by the actual Zionists in Israel. But we're going to end with this, and we're not going to watch it. It's 44 seconds, but it's not worth it because I've already seen this. I know what it's going to say, and this is the main point here. Florida State Rep Angie Nixon asked how many dead Palestinians is enough, and Republican Michelle Salzman responded, all of them. Okay, Salzman is a Zionist, and she actually apparently deleted her account on Twitter because there's no link to it anymore. So This person, Michelle Salzman, says that all of the Palestinians should be murdered. That's genocidal rhetoric coming from a Florida state representative. Okay. Active genocidal rhetoric on behalf of another country. This is a Zionist who apparently does not have loyalty to America, has loyalty to Israel, who is a member of government. This is as absurd, as ridiculous as it possibly can get, talking about genociding the entire Palestinian population. Makes me so sick to think about it. And then to think about how many people who I know are Christians, who call themselves Christians, and who believe these things. It's boggling my mind that people can actually support this type of thing. But this is how Michelle Salzman she's an actual Jewish Zionist, but she has a ton of Christian Zionist supporters. This is how these Zionists think. So that's what I'll leave you with. I like to report all of this genocidal rhetoric just so we have a record of everything that's going on. And so you can see just in aggregate what these Zionists are saying about non-Zionist people. So thank you for watching. Please leave us a like if you found this video to be informative. Please subscribe to our channel on YouTube and Rumble for more content. Please leave us a comment in the comment box below. I read all of them, questions, concerns, critiques you might have. And I hope you have a good rest of your day. Bye.